one of my early experiences covering interviews in locker rooms is men don't give you, these athletes don't give the women reporters time of day. You know, it's cute. We'll answer your nice little question. And then we'll turn to the male reporter and we'll engage with him and we'll look him in the eye and we won't be sarcastic to them, but it's so interesting because as a woman, you pick up that dynamic. And a lot of those athletes just, they speak with you differently. They speak with you differently. And then when you're able to actually counteract and come back with something credible, like a statistic or a story to back up the question that you're asking them, they kind of stop. And this happened with me, and I won't name who it was, but a pretty big local athlete. And I had confronted him with a question, and it was about his game-winning catch in the game. And I'd asked him a question regarding that. And at first he was very flippant. He just kind of shoved me off. But then, by God, I was like, I'm going to get the answer to this. And so I jumped back on it again. And this time I kind of bolstered it with more of a backstory regarding what I was asking him. And then he kind of stopped and he looked at me. And it was the funniest thing because he goes, damn, girl, you know your shit. And that's when I knew. I smiled. And I sat there and I went, yeah, I do know my shit. And it was one of the most refreshing because here I was in a room full of male reporters. And it was almost like, did you catch that? I think I did. You know, and it was very refreshing. And again, I hate to say it that way, but it was very raw. And it completely threw my world into a tizzy. I can imagine what the guys around me were thinking, but I felt at that very moment, yeah, I'm here and I've made it and I know it.
It was all about whether you could do the job or not. If you could do the job, although it was a WASP profession, it didn't matter who you were or where you came from. It was all about whether you could do the job or not. And if you could, you had respect. If you couldn't, you didn't. And it was just a fact of life.